Today is April 24th, and this is COVID-19 Local Impact Ottawa Valley. I'm Tiana Tierney. Here is a look at the COVID-19 situation at the latest update. We had no new confirmed cases, no new deaths, and 9 resolved cases. Total tests done sit at 1,331, and negative tests now sit at 1,193. And we are currently awaiting the results of 124 tests. In Ontario, the number of cases went up by 640, bringing it up to 13,519. That is a 5% increase from the last report. 763 deaths have been reported, along with 7,087 resolved cases. And total testing has now reached 207,040. That's an increase of over 12,295 over yesterday at the 10:30 a.m. update, April 23rd. To start the program, we are going to hear from a few of our very own YourTV volunteers during this National Volunteer Week and find out how they are managing during COVID-19. How are you guys coping with not being able to participate in regular productions with YourTV? And I don't know who wants to go first. Let's start with Dave. Well, I'll just pick.
Oh, no, it's a John and Dave show. Should we let John talk first?
You want me to go first? I'll go first. So yeah, no, I've been missing a lot because I had to miss a lot last year because of my own business, and I didn't have the time to do it. So now was the time where I can actually get out there and do it. And I actually missed the actual hockey games, and we're hoping to do the football games this year, and who knows what's going on with that. So yeah, I missed the volunteering a lot. So, Dave?
I can mirror what John says. I also miss a lot. It kept me busy and gave me new skills, and I really did enjoy volunteering. And, you know, it's rare you find a hobby you're able to enjoy and actually do it all the time. And then that's what I did actually last year, is almost a full-time crew at YourTV. and then yeah, now I'm here doing kind of nothing. It's kind of boring a bit.
Well, we miss having volunteers around too. It's quiet around here. Everything's done over Skype. Can't see anybody anymore.
I know, it's a new platform for me.
Yeah. So what have you guys been doing, say, for instance, with your families? Are you doing, how are you getting used to this social distancing?
Well, I know on my side, I got my daughter still doing schoolwork now since they went online. So usually my wife helps my oldest daughter with hers. She's just getting ready to graduate high school. And my youngest daughter, I've been helping her out with her homework, but she's usually done by before noon to basically. So then it's just a matter of keeping ourselves busy. We finally got the trampoline up in the backyard the other day, so she's had something to do except sitting in her room all the time. And we go for the odd walk, or my wife and I might drive to the studio to do some work and back. Of course, with the quarantine, we can't open, so we basically go in, we lock the door, do what we got to do, and we drive back. It's like 10 minutes away. So that's basically my life right now, is sitting at home, finding things to do, and the odd work here and there.
For me, I guess the first week was March break, so we already had plans for March break, and we carried on with our plans. So the kids kind of went away. So then the honey-do list came out, and I think it's kind of what filled up my my quarantine right now. Is for once my honey-do list is done. You know, it finally put up some trims that I haven't done since I moved in the house, and finally did little upgrades that we wanted to do that we had never done, and we're also getting our rental ready for a new tenant coming in at the end of the month, and a lot of painting there, and just things that normally I wouldn't take time to do because I just have too much things on the go, and that now I'm able to take the time to do, and yeah, it's keep me busy that way.
And deliver cupcakes.
And yeah, my wife has a business of making cupcakes, and we looked after a few of our friends, and actually some paramedics got some cupcakes, and some Renfrew OPP officer got some cupcakes that we saw passing along the road that we offered some to them.
I've been doing a lot of baking too.
Yeah, actually, it's funny you mentioned baking. It's we picked up this book from a travel show a few years back on the recipes from different countries. And we actually been picking recipes out of that book and trying them out. Something you don't normally do. And, you know, I've traveled around the world making food right now so far. Because each week we have a new kind of recipe we do from a different country. And last week was Korea. This week is we were in Ireland, make an Irish stew. And then using, of course, the Midnight Stout from the Whitewater Brewery here where I live here in Cobden. So I'm not too far from them. And, yeah.
How about you, John? You trying some new recipes at home, or?
No, you wouldn't want to try anything that I would bake. I actually did a nice happy birthday for his wife there, and I had flour all over me and yeah, you wouldn't want to see anything that I bake. I just keep busy with this kind of thing here. So like I actually started doing a thing of my own. Actually, once a day I go on sometime in the evening. I do my Butler's Babble, as they call it, where I just come on for an hour and a half and me and a bunch of other people just through Facebook Live, and we babble about anything that comes to our mind, keep people sane, get to see other people, and they get to see me and just give them some entertainment. And other than editing photographs, that Butler's Babble has been keeping me going. So.
A photographer and you can't shoot right now. What are you doing to keep your skills up?
Basically, I've just been editing, actually. I did a couple things. One is I still have clients that they'll call me every now and then saying, can I get a copy of this shot or that shot? So we still do some editing. We have some work we want to do around the studio itself. I have to do some painting and spruce it up a little bit more. So we're going to get some time to do that. And then yesterday, actually last night, was the first one we tried an online photography 101 class. So usually I teach out of my studio or out of the college, but since we can't do that live, I decided let's try and condense it down to about a 2 to 3 hour lesson and basically teach people how to use their camera. And so it went over pretty well. We had about 7 people sign up for it, and had a couple little glitches, but we recorded it so that we can actually, those people that paid for it, they can see it again later on and refer back to it. So that's basically keeping me, at least my chops going. And then I have a couple different photography tutorials that I've downloaded that I subscribe to. So keep the chops going, always learning, never stop learning.
Great. Dave, you're part of the Muskrat Watershed Council. And what is your role there and how has it changed?
So I'm a volunteer of the Watershed Council also. I'm the Director of Science and Water Quality. So my role itself as a director hasn't really changed much. I liaison a lot with different governmental agencies. A lot of them are still working, although working from home. They're still at work and they're still answering phone calls, answering emails. We actually held a meeting last week and talked to our community partners, and then kind of decide what we're going to do for the summer, what kind of the restrictions going on right now, and what projects we're able to continue and what we'll put on hold. So a lot of the projects will continue just with a lesser workforce. So anything that was done with volunteers in the past, we're not going to do until everything's kind of lifted and kind of use the minimal crew to do different work. So projects are still going to keep going with the watershed, which is kind of very exciting. Unfortunately, there's a few projects, like our stewardship projects, which are community-based projects that we put on the sidelines, but hopefully when everything's kind of over, we can pick back up.
I'm looking forward to getting back to shooting again, because as a photographer, that's what I do for a living. So I want to get back behind that camera. I've already had probably about 4 commercial shoots that had to either be postponed or canceled because of this, because of time constrictions and stuff. I've got 3 dance schools and Petalwall Minor Soccer. I still got to figure out what's going on with them if we're still shooting them. So I want to get back to shooting. I don't care if it's just headshots in the studio or passport photos. I want to get behind the camera again and get back to doing some more YourTV camera work too. I'm looking forward to that again.
Good. Great.
Same thing. I'm looking forward to get out of the house and I'm always on the go. I always have something, hence I volunteer in many different places, and I'm in school doing university classes. I'm working full time, so I actually have a lot on the go. And now, this kind of COVID break, I guess I'm going to call it, kind of put everything kind of on kind of vacation time, I guess. But now it's kind of looking forward to get back into normal routine, normal life, and, be a bit more engaged and more out there.
Whatever that new normal is.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows, right?
All right. Well, we miss having you guys around. We miss doing productions with you, and we look forward to seeing you whenever that can be. Thanks for
We
doing
look
this.
forward to it too. You're not getting rid of us, that's for sure.
Yeah. Rest up, because when we get back to normal, we'll have lots of stuff for you to do. Next, we are going to hear from our YourTV colleagues in North Bay. Companies in Ontario are retooling their production lines to meet the need for personal protection equipment.
Under normal circumstances, this shop would be producing boat and trailer covers among many other products, but not during the coronavirus pandemic. Additional staff has been hired to produce hundreds of face masks and shields every single day.
We've purchased 5 new sewing machines to help with the production here. Changing ways, cleaning, like we've cleaned our facility, like pretty intensive cleaning to keep things as sterile as possible, as clean as possible. Extra cutting tables, usually it's a staff of 3 to 4 people. Now we're up to 11 people total here. It's been unbelievable of a whirlwind.
So that's a big success story because many businesses are consolidating, if not shutting down entirely. So you're able to ramp up. So that's a unique position to be in right now.
Yeah, very unique. Also feels good. We've been able to give some people that have been laid off from other jobs and had the sewing experience some employment during this time.
And who's purchasing them? Where are they going to?
We have purchasers from large companies and group homes to some medical staff and just the average person that cannot buy a mask for their protection over the shelf. Okay. And we're sending to all over Ontario. I've got some on the way to BC. We've done some to the East Coast. Very popular area has been Ottawa and the Toronto area.